So I'm going to do a little demo here on how to test the calibration on a signal generator in metrology.net. So first we're going to reach over to our test packages, and we have approved and unapproved test packages. Since this is a new test package, I want to run it before I approve it and let everybody else run it. So I'm going to click on the unapproved, and I'm going to come in here and type in the model number. So 86. So, and it's going to kick me down to the 8648B, which is what I'm testing. So I'm going to do a test work order. I'm going to select the make model of the asset that I'm going to calibrate. And then I'm going to use the year. This is how we build our test packages here. So 2206 27-01 is going to be today's date and index number. Then I'm going to assign it to the Darwin VM, and I'm going to assign it to myself. Now, as I click the create work order, what the software is going to do is it's going to take all the calibration data points for the 8648's A's, B's, C's, and D's, and it's going to shrink it down into just the data points that are required for the 8648B and the option configuration that I have. So now we can see that it's queried it out of the database, and now we're grabbing all the data points. So we're 30% done, 40% done. And now we can wait 4 seconds, or we can just go over to our work order. So now that we're in our work order, there was a lot of data points in the test package, but it's dropped it down into just what we're calibrating. So we can see here that I've got several station agents that I can do the work on. I've got my statuses, I've got my run mode, so I can run all tests, I can run my untested data points, and I can run my failed data points. What's handy about the only untested data points is I can do part of my work on one workstation, then move it to another workstation and continue my work. Now to start this, all I have to do is reach out here and hit the run calibration. And now I can select my technique on that workstation. And now I can hit run. What that's going to do is it's going to queue the work and download the work on that workstation. Then the workstation is going to take all of those data points, line them up in how it wants to execute them, and what test points it can execute. Now it's running automated, so here in a minute it's going to give me some information about what I'm running. So now it's came up and showed me that it wants the required equipment is going to be an Agilent PXA and a 33250. I'm going to hit continue. Now it's going to come up and ask me where's my UUT address and the number of readings I want to take with each data point. So if I'm doing 17025 compliant calibrations, I may want to take multiple data points to include that in my measurement uncertainty. My UUT is going to be at address 1, so I'm going to select GPIB0 address 1 and hit continue. Now what the workstation is going to do is it's going to go through and reset my UUT and reset my standards. Now it's going to come back and give me a connection message of how I have to hook everything up. I'm going to hit continue. And now what you're going to see is it started doing the measurements and it's populating the data on the web. So if we were to lose power right now, we would lose just the data point that we're working on. We can also kick this out to see all the data points. And now we can watch us run through all these data points for FM modulation. So, and keep in mind, it's doing a real-time calculation of our measurement uncertainties with each one of the test points, and it's evaluating pass and fail as well as our TURs, are better than 10 to 1, and it's calculating our confidence and our risk. So when we get a data point that's towards the edge of our test limits, it's going to calculate out the risk of us, false accept risk, of us giving out a piece of test equipment that could be incorrectly calibrated. So now that it's completed that test group, you see that it refreshed the page, gave us a status of passed, and now we can move on to the next data points until we've done every one of the data points in the list. So if you guys have any questions on metrology.net, how the software runs or anything like that, you can simply just drop me a line at mschwartz@callabsolutions.com, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions. So